And welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Just wait till YouTube catches up. Let me just see that. Why is that not? It says we're live, but yeah, we are live. Of course, we're live. Let me just double check the sound. The sound is fine because I can hear it through these headphones. Yeah, sounds perfect. We're on. Stephen's in the house. Paul Emery's in the house. Not a bad lineup. Yeah, let's get straight to the lineup. And I've closed the friggin' page. See when you're just in from the shops. And yeah, it's a good lineup. Starting 11 is, like I said this morning, Hart, Johnson, Rocky, Scales, Bernaby, McGregor, O'Reilly, Bernardo, Abada, Palmer, Kyogo. On the bench is Bain, Kuhn, Ida, Ohm, Vata, Kelly, Forrest, Ralston, and Welsh. I'm totally expecting Kuhn to get maybe a run out of the day, but Ida definitely. I think Ida will definitely get a shout the second half of the game this afternoon. So give me your score predictions in the comment section. Give me your man in Korea. What the Celtics put out one crazy ass video. Celtic put out some crazy ass video at times when it's like, what? Why did they not put that out when there had no content to put out? And let's get to this. And I just want to just jump onto the comments section. Just get the comment section there. Paul Baird is in the house. Paul Hogan is in the house from County Clare, Ireland. Paul Emery's in the house. Stephen's in the house. Tom Max in the house. Christopher says Palmer should be on the bench after last week's performance. I hope if Celtic get a penalty, Palmer does not take it, says Christopher. Paul McGowan says 4-1 the Celtic. Scales needs in that left position. Bernaby gives me the fear. I was grim watching them in the game last week. I hope that Ida and Kuhn get a run out properly today, says Evan Sean. Sean Cahill says, hail, hail from Edinburgh, 2-0 with boys. David says 3-0 to Celtic. Give me your score predictions in. I'm just going to share this. Oh, wait a minute. Image. Yeah, I've seen it. 2 minutes to reply to this. Brian, I am live on YouTube if you're just tuning in and watching this. So, yeah, I'll be up in just over half an hour. I'm going to stay on for about 20 minutes or so. David says 3-0 to Celtic. Alan Stevenson says 4-0. Aberdeen players have a point to prove today. They won't know because they're absolute rubbish, says Stephen. Chris says 4-0 Hoops. If we get a penalty, give Hart to take it. Hart to take the penalty. Hart to take the penalty. Come on. Anyway, what about that number? Absolutely fantastic. 15,053. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Next one is 20,000. So come on, Celtic fans, get it done. Get it done. Get subscribed to the channel if you haven't done already. Oh, I just noticed this bit as well. That bit there. Celtic News. That's new, isn't it? I put that up. Yeah. That's a new addition to the screen. There's going to be some more new additions to the screen as we go on. John says it's going to be 2-1 today. And Zoinks 3am crew reporting for duty. 3am, where are you? Down in Australia or something? Palmer's off the penalty taking, says Alan Stevenson. We'll all hope that Palmer does not get anywhere near a penalty today. When you look at the bench, it's going to be a hard one. Does the manager bring on Rocco Vata to make sure that he signs this new contract and give him game time? If Vata comes off the bench, who does he replace? Who does he replace? Because he did come on and go, he played through the middle as a striker for Kyogo, and he scored. He has scored in the league, but we have just brought in Ida. He's a bit of a different physical presence. It could be the fact that later on in the game today, that you know what Aberdeen are like, we might need that physical presence in the box. But then again, if we hit them on the break, like we've done many times at Aberdeen, I've been at Aberdeen many times, and we do like hitting them on the break. We like hitting them on the break and grabbing a screamer. There's been a few screamers of goals up in Aberdeen. over the years, it's been an absolute couple of crackers. It's like I like Scooby Doo. Fort Myers Beach, Florida, is in the house. Get in. This is why I like the earlier videos. I might need to start doing some earlier lives during the day, during the week, to just as a little nod of the hat to all the people that watch the channel around the world. It's good to get them on. There is only 103 people watching at the moment, but there's 100 more, 119. So we're getting more people on. Wait till I just share this um, share it onto the Tinternet. Share it onto the Tinternet and on share video. Compartir. Why is it in Spanish? Why is it in Spanish? Anyway, pause that again. That's that. Close that. I'm hearing two different. And then share that. Let's talk live. There we go. Just put that on Twitter. Aberdeen away today. If we don't put in at least 3 or 4 past them, we could be even worse than I thought. Ooh, says Joe. That's just um. There's a lot of people saying that we're one or two. I'm not even going to talk about that. There's people saying that we're 1 or 2 injuries away from a crisis. We're always 1 or 2 away from a crisis at Celtic. As long as we get the 3 points today, that's it. Put in a good performance. Big Scales and Rocky at the back. Big game for those two. I mean, they've been pretty much Scales. Scales has just been Scales all season. Rocky has come back into the team, and he knew that he had to sit and wait his turn to get into the team. It's unfortunate that Cameron Carter-Vickers is out again. And I did just say in jest in yesterday's video that we're going to end up calling him Cameron Butter-Vickers. But I said that because how many games has Cameron Carter-Vickers played in Europe for Celtic? Tell me that one in the comment section. Anyway, we'll talk about Cameron Carter-Vickers later. He is out for a couple of weeks. It's a big day for Nico Kuhn and Adam Ida. Adam Ida. And, you know, it's going to be strange because if Adam Ida gets on in front of Vata, does Vata then spit the dummy out and say, "Come on, boss, what's going on here? The guy's just in the door and I've been doing it in training week in, week out." Does Vata then go to be one of the wide players to come on? When you look at the bench, the only really other wide players, so you're going to say that Vata is going to be a wide player. You've got Forrest and Kuhn. So maybe Vata could play through the middle. Don't know. It's a difficult one, but it is good to be back, and it's good. Would have preferred 3-5-2, says Bob. View formation, 3-1 to the Celtic. He says I'm an advocate of 3. I think in Scottish football, there's absolutely no need for Celtic to play this one up front. And you could say Brendan Rodgers could say, look, it's not one up front, it's a 4-3-3. It's a 4-3-3 formation. And you can put it out as much as that as you want, but it's one up front. There's one in the middle of the box. We need 2 strikers in the middle of the box causing mayhem. Having one striker and it's just my own personal opinion, is having one striker in the middle of the box and being Kyogo, he's not the biggest. He needs balls with a bit of pace. If Aberdeen sit back to any extent, I don't think they will. I think we'll have to try and hit Aberdeen on the break today. And then there's a chance for Kyogo getting in behind them. Anyway, Ian Roy says pro footballers should be able to score a penalty irrelevant of their position. O'Reilly should take penalties, and I think it'll be 3-1, says John. Hail Baz, come on the hoops, says Robert. And John says, I've tried to get Welsh and Forrest out the door. I don't think they did try to get Welsh and Forrest out the door. There was clubs came in and offered to take James Forrest, and James Forrest opted to stay at Celtic. I mean, James Forrest could have smacked a dummy out and said, "Nah, I want to go." But James Forrest is going to be a one-man team. It's going to be a one-man team, and what he brings, this nonsense that we're trying to send out players, I don't buy it at all. What James Forrest brings to the dressing room is far more. You can't buy it. You can't buy it. You cannot buy it. And especially when in a run into a season, right? And I mean, let's talk about Jamesy Forrest. I mean, he is on the bench, right? But let's talk about Jamesy Forrest. What he brings to a team in terms of experience of a run into the title. You can't buy that. You can't go out and buy a player that knows Scottish football and knows how to win a league and it knows how to win a championship, knows how to win a double, knows how to just get over the line. And you cannot go out and buy a player and bring that in. Keeping James Forrest at the team, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with it. I'm happy that he's got a 3-year contract. I think having him in and about the dressing room, he's obviously he's not going to have the pace that a 20-year-old James Forrest had. But that experience of what it takes to on the pitch is invaluable to the younger players at Celtic. Absolutely invaluable. You get the likes of Jamesy Forrest on the wing with Rocco Vata, and then and get him talking to Rocco Vata, and Jamesy will tell him, "Oh, you do this, do this, do this," down the wing, and uh, that experience is invaluable. So Celtic, um, the sound is fine because I can hear it coming through my headphones that are sitting down. So turn up your volume on. I can hear it through this, and I'm not even need to put this in. So yeah, turn up your. There's a volume on YouTube. You might need to turn that up as well if you've had that turned down. Ida to score two, says Paul Hogan. Cameron Carter Vickers, 6 or 7 games in Europe, maybe 9 or 10. Has he played that much over 3 seasons now? I don't think he has. He missed the Champions League last season. Pretty much that. Can you give us a wee insight into life in Spain, what you do down there, and what you took there in the first place, says Ian. Um, I could do, but not on this channel. I do have another channel where we talk about that. Or hit me up on Instagram, and I'll send you to that channel. And it was basically Brexit. Brexit drove us out of Scotland. The fact that it is now harder. You can't just. From why you were talking about this now? Anyway, yeah. When I was in my teenage years, in my early 20s, you could rock up in Spain and get a job in a bar. You can't do that now, and it's even harder to try and retire in Europe and in Spain. So we jumped ship early on. Yeah. I swap channels. Somebody asked and I told them I can't tell me about it for swap channels. Anyway, Morning Fort says Martin 3-1 to Celtic. John says is either up to the pressure. It's make or break a player. It's hardly make or break a player when he's only 20 or 2-year-old. P.S. Forrest asked for a move. Well, Forrest, John, how do you know Forrest asked for a move? Because Celtic are reporting that James Forrest turned down the opportunity to go out on loan when teams came in for him. Celtic didn't offer him out on loan. Teams came and said, look, is James Forrest up for a loan move? So this nonsense that people are saying that James Forrest, until James Forrest turns around and goes, yeah, I asked to go out on loan because I'm not getting any game time. I don't believe that 1 minute. Anyway, please don't be pod for one day, Baz, on your move to Spain. What? There is another channel that I do talk about that kind of stuff, about moving to Spain. That's all I'm going to say. And my missus is on it. So, yeah. The audio is low. It's been for a few weeks now, mate. The audio is not low. Look, you want double feedback? I'll give you double feedback. I'm not even listening to this, and I'm putting it back up. You want double feedback? Anyway, can't see James asking for a transfer. No chance, says Paul. When you look at it now, get some more of the comments. CCV has gone from being prize asset to injury liability, says Paul. Can't see James asking for that. There's over 200. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for the video also. Make sure you do hit the thumbs up for the video. The team, Bernardo has to turn up today. Paulo Bernardo. It's a big game for Paulo Bernardo. He has to really show that he's going to be that dominant player in the midfield, with the fact that Rio Hatate is going to be out for another few weeks. It's a big chance for Paulo Bernardo to cement that place in the team and say, look, I'm better than the guy from Japan. I'm better than him. But can he do that? Can Paulo Bernardo, Carden Den's in the house, the John Thompson bus is in the house. Can Paulo Bernardo command and dominate that midfield? Sometimes I think he floats about a bit too much. I mean, he can turn it on, but can he dominate that midfield? We really need someone that's going to dominate that midfield. But maybe maybe this is why we need a Waterback. This is why we need a Waterback, and we push Callum McGregor further forward. And then, you're playing for Callum further forward, and it allows us to get that bit more domination and on that top end of the park. Let's just hope they can do it in the final third today. I do not want Brendan Rodgers to turn around and saying that the quality was not good enough. After the transfer window, that Brendan Rodgers said, we need quality. We need quality in the team. He's been going on for months now about quality in the final third. He, as a manager, has to make sure that these players that he has brought in gives us that quality in the final third. None of them are on the bench today. Both are on the bench today. None of them in the starting 11. So Will Bernardo and O'Reilly have great chemistry, says Dundance Montgomery. Stephen Brown says, Paulo looks like he's going to be a really good talent in the future. Kookaburra says, Bernaby in the team. Rodgers is taking the piss. Kookaburra, we've no one else in the team that can come in and play that left back position. And we could talk about the transfer. It's done and dusted, right? As far as I'm concerned, there's no use talking about the transfer window anymore because it's done, it's dusted. We need to just focus on winning games and winning the league now. Winning games, get to the Scottish Cup, beating St Mirren in the Scottish Cup and pushing on. Right, let's just back the players that we've got, back the team that we've got. Stop talking down the team. There's too many people in Celtic. There's too many fans. It's now time to rally the troops and get behind it. Push forward. Come on, Celtic fans. You're starting to sounding like Sev Conians and their team died. Keep the big goose open. Anyway, Palmer would be on the bench for Walker. I don't want to hear Brendan full stop, says David. Right. Who would you bring in as manager? Let's talk about this, right? Let's talk about this. I've got another 5 or 10 minutes. I've got about 9 minutes. Who would you bring in as manager? Right? Who would you bring in as manager? Tell me in your comments right now, right? If you don't want Brendan Rodgers, who would you bring in as manager? It's unbelievable that we're talking about this before a game starts, an important game. But denial is not a river in Africa, Baz. Who would we bring in, right? And it's nothing about denial. It's about just, you can only piss with the cock you've got. It's as simple as that. You can't go and get another one. So let's move on. No issue with the players, says David. Keep Brendan, says Paul Peart. And I'm being honest. Who do we bring in as a manager? Because I don't think that there's a manager out there that can come in and that can work within the parameters of Celtic Football Club. Brendan finally knows the way that the football club is working. And he knows the expectations of the fans and he knows the expectations of the board. And he's the man in the middle that's got to try and balance it up. So who can come in and pick up players for next to nothing, except for the like of maybe an Ange Postecoglou that nobody knew nothing about. But anyway, the former Leeds Spanish manager, not a chance. Cudson. These were Cudson was mentioned before Rodgers, and I want Maida back today. Abada has gave up. I don't think Abada has give up. Come on, stop the negativity. What about Frame at left back? Nobody's mentioned him. Yeah, and why Frame hasn't got back into the team is a completely bizarre one, because I thought it's players like him that you want to bring in positions like that and try and bleed into the team. But he's maybe just not got it enough at that level. He's maybe just not got it right now. Frame isn't fit, says Martin. We just have to go with the hands that we're dealt by. Yes, we do, Paul. We do. It'd be nice to see a header today. I think we're going to see a header, and don't be too surprised if Adam Ida scores with a header. So anyway, Raman Vaga is going to get 2 today. Oh dear goodness! Fed up with the negative shit by some Celtic fans, says Martin. Celtic's fault people are negative. How is it Celtic's fault people are negative? We're top of the league. We're top of the league by 2 points, right? If they win their game in hand, right? We're currently top of the league. Is that the spoiled brat mentality of the? I've got to see devil's advocate. I've got to play devil's advocate, right? I know where you're coming from, right? But how is it Celtic's fault that? Is it the spoiled brat mentality? Is it we've been spoiled over the last 10, 15 years? Is it we've expected to just win title after title, win trebles? It's easy. Scottish, it's easy. We win trebles. It's fine. We dominate. You can't go on and dominate forever. You can't go on and be the best forever without, Do you want to overspend? Anyway, I don't think it's Celtic's fault, and I think it's harsh blaming the likes of Brendan Rodgers. They want to do the best for the club, and they're not. And I'm only saying that because I've got to play devil's advocate, right? I've got to see both sides of the coin. Because if I don't, I could just sit up here and then you're like every other negative figure out there. Anyway, Bernabei likes a goal. I'd like to see him laughing his head off. Just hope this gamble is. Oh, Jesus. Yes, we wouldn't expect to win every game. Damn right. Yes, we expect to win every game. You should have been a Celtic fan back in the 80s. I think, is it, there seems to be, yes, you can expect to win every game, right? But, do you know, uh, anyway, right, there's 226 people online. It's going to get to some of the calls. Cotter says defeat away is a riot just now. We're one defeat away from a riot. We're one defeat away from a riot. And then we'll go back to like throwing stones at the bus windows and shit and fucking come on, come on. You can't let Rangers win this. No, we can't. So let's talk up the team that we've got. We cannot let them win. It's in our hands. Who's top of the league? Us, not them. Calm the fuck down. Right. We're top of the league, not them. Until they overtake us at the top of the league, then it's time to start complaining. If you want, see, when you put out a lot of negativity, you're going to get that negativity back, right? Do you know the universe has a wonderful way of doing things? If we keep projecting negativity and that we're going to lose the league, it'll fucking happen because there's thousands of people out there willing it to happen. Anyway, we're not going to lose the league. We're going to win the double. I'm pessimistic. I'm optimistic. I think that we can do it. I think we can do it with the squad we've got. I think we've got it with the manager that we've got. And calm. Right, let's get back to the comments. Baz, we should be optimistic. If we don't win the league, we shall see. Yeah, you can, you can't read the future, but you can be optimistic that you're going to do it. That's it. Anyway, the 80s were okay. The 90s were a nightmare. Yeah, who really cares? The 90s were a nightmare. Some of the younger fans that never lived through the 90s, right? There's a generation of fans now, and a lot of them are in the boys in the Green Brigade and stuff, that never lived through the 90s. Try being a fan in 1992 for Celtic. Try being a fan in 1993. The Liam Brady years were absolutely mince, right? The Liam Brady years were terrible. Talk about rubbish managers. You don't know how lucky you are to have a manager like Brendan Rodgers. Delusional, we mean. Anyway, those Rangers fans give me shit listening to and as manager. Let's get to Ida to score two, says I think Ida will score today. I've been saying for a couple of days, as soon as he came in, I think Ida will score today in the second half. Right. If you're saying, Baz, we can't win the league every year, and why we're more. If they beat us at Ibrox, they're top of the league. How far away is that game? There's a lot of football to be played before then. A lot of football. I watched Celtic in the 90s and we won fuck all. We have been spoilt recently, says Martin. Yes. Christopher says, I remember the bad old days. I'm 57. Yes. Yes. Hibs are on top. Hibs are on top. Are they playing right now? Like, I don't even know what games they're playing today. 2 seconds. No, no, they're not. They play. They play Livingston today. Oh, that's a game. That's a pass for them. Right. Anyway, the team today even is Hart, Johnson, Rocky, Scales, Bernaby, McGregor, O'Reilly, Bernardo, Abada, Palma, and Kyogo. On the bench is Bain, Nico Kuhn, Adam, Ida, Ohm, Vata, Riley, Kelly, Forrest, Ralston, Welsh. I expect Adam Ida to come on and score in the second half this afternoon. That is it. Said before, Baz, drugs, alcohol, music got me through the 90s. Smell the glove, you know it, you know it, you know it. We went from a time where the football casuals and everything in the 80s, mid 80s, early 80s, and then music rave scene came about. Everyone was friends. Violence stopped to a certain extent, and we all just got out our box, and that pretty much saw me through. Anyway, on that note, that's it. Done and dusted for this video. I am on my way up to Albatera, Celtic Supporters Club. I'm going to go up there, so we will do a video from there later on. Can you mind the? Can you mind the? Part 10? That was a long time ago. That was a long time. Anyway, Baz was going to sit in the dark room for 10 minutes to calm down. No, no, not at all. Not at all. Stephen, yes, they were. White doves. As soon as I went to that speckled doves shit, it was crap. As soon as I went to speckled doves, you knew that was it. It was done. It was done. Game over. Anyway, on that note, it's time for me to go because I have got a 15-minute drive up to the Albertera CSC. Have a fantastic day. I think the score will be 3-0 today for Celtic. I think Kyogo will score. There'll be a midfielder who'll score, and Adam Ida will score the winner late on into the game. And I'll see you after the game today. There'll be a video will go up anyway. I don't think I'll go live, but we'll wait and see. And on that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic. Come on, the hoops.